Welcome to the night presentation. I'm just about to go to have a nap, but I've decided I won't go to sleep before I present this video. I worked on it yesterday and consulted all people who might be requiring for seeking permission. So I've already done that, and therefore welcome to Excretion and Homeostasis. These are detailed notes for secondary students. Welcome, guys. So we start with the introduction to excretion. Definition. Excretion is the process by which organisms remove metabolic waste products and toxins from their bodies to maintain internal balance and prevent damage to tissues. Importance. It is vital for maintaining homeostasis, the stable internal environment necessary for the proper functioning of cells and organs. Excretory products and their sources. The first one is carbon dioxide, or or carbon 4 oxide, who's shortened like CO2. This is produced during cellular respiration, and it is excreted through the lungs in animals. Next is urea, formed in the liver from the breakdown of excess amino acids, a process we call deamination. Deamination is actually removal of the amino group in amino acids. It is excreted by the kidneys through urine. Water, a byproduct of respiration and other metabolic processes, excreted through urine, sweat, and breath. And finally, we have salts, which are derived from the digestion of food, and they are excreted through urine and sweat. Guys, that is a very good summary of the products and their sources. Human excretory system. It is composed of the following parts. We have the kidneys, the ureters, the bladder, and the urethra. Kidney structure. Each kidney contains millions of parts known as nephrons. A nephron is the functional unit of the kidney. Function. Filters blood to remove urea, excess salts, and water, forming urine. Ureters. These are tubes that carry urine from the kidneys to the bladder. Bladder stores urine until it is excreted from the body. Urethra, the tube through which urine is expelled from the body. Well-labeled diagram of the kidney. So You can see the diagram there. We have given the credits at the end of the video for this diagram, or the acknowledgements. So kidney anatomy, you can see the lenocortex, the lenomedulla, okay, I think there was a problem with the camera. Lenocortex, lenomedulla, lenopapilla, lenopyramids, lenocolumn, fibrous tissue. We have the major calyx, minor calyx, lenopelvis, ureter, lenoartery, lenovein, and hilum. Then on the diagram on the left, you can see how they are positioned in the human body system. The nephron. Part of a nephron. A nephron is a coiled tube that has lenocapsule and lenotubules as its components. Generally, a nephron consists of 6 parts: glomerulus, Bowman's capsule, proximal convoluted tubule, loop of Henle, distal convoluted tubule, and the collecting duct. A diagram of the nephron. So you can see the diagram of the nephron. Okay. We have the proximal convoluted tubule, distal tubule, glomerulus, ascending loop of Henle, descending loop of Henle, collecting duct. And we have made sure that we have given the functions. For example, the function of the proximal convoluted tubule reabsorbs ions, water, and nutrients, removes toxins, and adjusts filtrate pH. Glomerulus filters small solids from the blood. Descending loop of Henle, aquaporins allow water to pass from the filter into the interstitial fluid. Number 4, ascending loop of Henle reabsorbs sodium ions and chloride from the filtrate into the interstitial fluid. 5, distal convoluted tubule selectively circulates and absorbs different ions to maintain blood pH and electrolyte balance. And finally, collecting duct reabsorbs solutes and water from the filtrate. So we have another source of nephron, another person to be given credit. Artwork by Hore Fischer, file kidney nephron, from the Wikipedia. So the nephron, again, here we have just labeled the parts. Excuse me. Proximal convoluted tubule, Bowman's capsule, descending loop of Henle, ascending loop of Henle, loop of Henle, which looks like the pin of the hair of a reindeer, and collecting duct, and distal convoluted tubule. Now the problem with this diagram is that if we come to practicals, I advise you to make sure that the reboline touches the structure being labeled. But I can see this structure here are hanging. All right. Formation of urine. There is filtration. Blood enters the kidney through the renal artery and is filtered in the glomerulus of each nephron. Water, salts, and glucose and urea pass into the Bowman's capsule, forming the filtrate. Reabsorption. Use of substances like glucose, some salts, and water are reabsorbed into the blood from the filtrate in the proximal convoluted tubule. Secretion. Addition waste products are secreted into the filtrate in the distal convoluted tubule, and then excretion. The remaining filtrate, now urine, passes through the collecting duct to the ureters and is stored in the bladder before being excreted through the urea. Other excretory organs are the lungs. These excrete carbon dioxide and water vapor during exhalation. Exhalation is when you breathe out. Skin excretes sweat, a mixture of water, salts, and small amounts of the urea through sweating glands. Liver breaks down toxins and excess amino acids, that is deamination, producing urea, which is transported to the kidney for excretion. Disorders of the excretory system, we have three main ones: kidney stones, kidney failure, and urinary tract infections, or what we usually call UTIs. Kidney stones are hard deposits of minerals and salts that form in the kidneys, and they can block urine flow and cause pain. Kidney failure, on the other hand, occurs when the kidney loses their ability to filter waste effectively. It may require dialysis or a kidney transplant. Dialysis involves cleaning of the urine. Urinary tract infections that affect parts of the urinary system, usually the bladder or urethra, and the symptoms include pain during urination and frequent urination. Introduction to homeostasis. Homeostasis is the process by which organisms maintain a stable internal environment despite changes in The next video is Introduction to Homeostasis. I've decided to have two videos so that we can understand these two things well, so that excretion, I've done it in one video, and because excretion must go with homeostasis, I've decided to have the other video immediately after excretion. And this video is Introduction to Homeostasis. Welcome, guys. Key components of homeostasis. Receptors. These detect changes in the environment, e.g. temperature, pH, glucose levels. Control center, brain, receives information from receptors and sends signals to effectors to initiate response. Effectors, organs, tissues, or cells that carry out the necessary response to restore balance, e.g. muscles or glands. So the key components are three: receptors, control center, and the effectors. So I have looked at them. A sensor or receptor is that which detects changes in the internal or external environment. An example is peripheral chemoreceptors, which detect changes in blood pH. The integrating center or control center receives information from the sensors and initiates response to maintain homeostasis. The most important example is the hypothalamus, a region of the brain that controls everything from the body temperature to heart rate, blood pressure, satiety, fullness, and circadian rhythms, including sleep and wake cycle. An effector is an organ or tissue that receives information from the integrating center and acts to bring about the changes needed to maintain homeostasis. One example is the kidney, which receives water if blood pressure is too low. Homeostasis diagram there. Okay, and this figure is adapted from the Khan Academy. So we have the control center. This is a general diagram. Input, information sent along different pathway. Output. So let's start from number 1. Stimulus produces change in variable. Number 2, change detected by receptor. Number 3, input, information sent along different pathway. Control center. 4 is output, information sent along different efferent pathway. All right. And 4, response of effector feedback feeds back to influence magnitude of stimulus and it returns variable to homeostasis. Okay, so we have 2 things there. Imbalance too little, imbalance too much. Those are the 2 things which are being controlled. So homeostasis is the property of human biological system where the self-regulating process tends to maintain the balance for the survival. The regulation takes place in a defined internal environment. Homeostatic processes in humans, we have also thermoregulation. Function maintains stable internal body temperature. And it will do this by mechanisms like vasodilation, which involves blood vessels near the skin surface widening to increase heat loss, and vasoconstriction, blood vessels narrow to reduce heat loss. Sweating glands produce sweat, which evaporates to cool the body. Shivering, muscles contract rapidly to generate heat. Then we have osmoregulation. Function controls the balance of water and salts in the body. Mechanism, we have antidiuretic hormone or ADH. It regulates water reabsorption in the kidneys. That mechanism, stimulates the intake of water when the body is dehydrated. Blood glucose regulation. Function, maintain blood sugar levels within a narrow range. Mechanisms, we have insulin, lowers blood glucose levels by facilitating uptake of glucose into cells. And then we have glucagon, raises blood glucose levels by promoting the release of glucose from stored glycogen in the liver. So there are 3 main homeostatic processes: thermoregulation, osmoregulation, blood glucose regulation. Thermo involves temperature regulation. Osmoregulation involves water regulation, and blood glucose regulation involves regulation of the sugar in our body. Thermoregulation. Humans are warm-blooded or endothermic, maintaining a near constant body temperature. Thermoregulation is an important aspect of human homeostasis. Heat is mainly produced by the liver and muscle contractions. Humans have been able to adapt to a great diversity of climates, including hot, humid, and hot, arid environments. High temperatures pose serious stress for the human body, placing it in great danger of injury or even in death. Hypothermia. In order to deal with these climatic conditions, humans have developed physiologic and cultural modes of adaptation. When internal temperature reaches extremes of 45 degrees centigrade, which is equivalent to 113 degrees Fahrenheit, hypothermia, a condition where an individual's body temperature is elevated beyond normal, occurs, and the cellular proteins will denature, causing metabolism to stop and ultimately lead to death. Hypothermia. Hypothermia is the opposite condition where internal body temperature falls below homeostatic norms. Hypothermia occurs when body core temperatures fall below 35 degrees centigrade or 95 degrees Fahrenheit. Symptoms depend on the temperature. In mild hypothermia, there is shivering and mental confusion. In moderate hypothermia, shivering stops and confusion increases. In severe hypothermia, there may be paradoxical undressing in which a person removes their clothes, as well as an increased risk of heart stopping. Hypothermia has two main types of causes. It classically occurs from exposure to extreme cold. It may also occur from any condition that decreases heat production or increases heat loss. Commonly, this includes alcohol intoxication, but may also include low blood sugar, anorexia, and advanced age. Osmoregulation is the active regulation of osmotic pressure of body fluids to maintain the homeostasis of the body's water content. That is, it keeps the body fluids from becoming too rich, too dilute, or too concentrated. Osmotic pressure is a measure of the tendency of water to move into one solution from another by osmosis. The higher the osmotic pressure of a solution, the more water wants to go into the solution. The kidneys are used to remove excess ions such as sodium, potassium, and calcium from the blood, thus affecting the osmotic pressure. These are then expelled as urine. The kidneys are also important for maintaining acid-base levels such that the pH of the blood remains close to the neutral point. Water volume. The kidneys also determine the overall water volume maintained within the body. The hormones, antidiuretic hormone, ADH, also known as vasopressin, and aldosterone play a major role in regulating kidney function. If the body is becoming fluid deficient, there will be an increase in the secretion of ADH from the pituitary gland. This hormone then travels to the distal tubules or collecting ducts of the kidneys, causing fluid to be retained and urine output to be reduced. Pituitary gland is located in the brain. Similarly, the hormone aldosterone, a mineralocorticoid hormone with a steroid backbone, is secreted from the adrenal cortex. Aldosterone causes the kidneys to reabsorb sodium as sodium ions As sodium ions is reabsorbed, water is reabsorbed as well. Thus, sodium ions retention also leads to fluid retention. Conversely, if fluid levels are excessive, secretion of the hormone aldosterone is suppressed, resulting in less retention of fluid by the kidneys and a subsequent increase in the volume of urine produced. Feedback mechanisms. We have two. Negative feedback. The most common homeostatic control mechanisms works to reverse a change and bring conditions back to the set point or back to the normal. Example, regulation of blood glucose levels by insulin and glucagon. Positive feedback enhances or amplifies changes, less common but occurs in processes like blood clotting and childbirth, oxytocin release. Negative feedback mechanisms use one of the products of the reaction to reduce the output or activity of the process for the purpose of returning an organ or system to its normal range of functioning. Most homeostatic processes use negative feedback regulation to maintain a specific parameter around a set point range that supports life. However, it should be noted that negative feedback processes are also used for other processes that are not homeostatic. So we have this figure is adapted from the Khan Academy. Thermoregulation, body temperature falls, body temperature rises. All right. Blood vessels constrict so that heat is conserved. Sweat glands do not secrete fluid. Shivering, involuntary contraction of muscles generates heat, which warms the body. Blood vessels dilate, resulting in heat loss to the environment. Sweat glands secrete fluid. As the fluid evaporates, heat is lost from the body. Normal body temperature, heat is lost to the environment, heat is retained. These are examples of negative feedback. Osmoregulation. This figure has been modified from EEOC and Wikimedia Commons. EEOC, we can give the meaning later. So here we have the brain, pituitary gland, all right, okay, which secretes the antidiuretic hormone to the kidney. Then we have the kidney and renal glands, which secrete aldosterone, all right, sodium and water retention, and then water retention. Blood glucose regulation, pancreas secretes insulin, body cells take up glucose, liver takes up glucose and stores it as glycogen. Blood glucose level declines. Blood glucose level rises. Okay, homeostasis. Glucose levels set point. All right. Then stimulus blood glucose level falls. Stimulus blood glucose level rises. And then pancreas, glucagon. Liver breaks down glucagon and releases glucose. Okay, so this figure is by Shannon Muskoff from biologycorner.com. Positive feedback is a mechanism in which an activated component enhances or further and regulates the process that gives rise to itself in order to create an even stronger response. Positive feedback mechanisms are designed to accelerate or enhance the output created by a stimulus that has already been activated. Positive feedback mechanisms are designed to push levels out of normal ranges and are not used as often in homeostatic responses. To achieve positive feedback, a series of events initiates a cascading process that builds to increase the effect of the stimulus. Brand clotting cascade. An example of positive feedback loop is the brand clotting cascade, which is originally initiated by external damage to the vasculature. During a damage event, extrinsic factors begin the initiation of the brand clotting process. The positive feedback mechanism of the brand clotting cascade. Extrinsic factors such as damage or injury activated the cleavage of zymogen proteins in the brand clotting cascade. Activation of the zymogen thrombin 2A begins the formation of the fibrin clotting network and also elicites positive feedback that further unregulates the entire clotting cascade. So you continue forming the fibrin network. Application of homeostasis. We have the medical field. Understanding homeostasis is crucial for diagnosing and treating conditions like diabetes, dehydration, and hypothermia. Sports science, athletics monitor homeostatic parameters like body temperature, hydration levels, and blood glucose optimize performance. Diabetes, a disease of failed homeostasis. Diabetes, a metabolic disorder caused by excess blood glucose levels, is a key example of disease caused by failed homeostasis. In ideal circumstances, homeostatic control mechanisms should prevent this imbalance from occurring. However, in some people, the mechanisms do not work efficiently enough or the amount of blood glucose is too great to be effectively managed. In these cases, medical intervention is necessary to restore homeostasis and prevent permanent organ damage. Practical experiments on excretion and homeostasis. Experiment to measure kidney function. Use urine analysis to assess the presence of glucose, proteins, and other substances indicating kidney health. Experiment to observe the thermoregulation, monitor body temperature changes, and sweating during exercise to study the body's response to heat. Conclusion. Excretion and homeostasis are vital biological processes that ensure the body functions efficiently and remains in balance. Understanding these processes is essential for maintaining health and addressing physiological challenges. So we have the acknowledgement there. Khan Academy 2019 homeostasis in human body system, retrieved on January 2nd, 2019 from that website. Wikipedia contributors 2019 February 9, hypothermia. In Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia, retrieved 1847 February 25, 2019, and that is the website. Wikipedia contributors 2019 hypothermia. In Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia, retrieved 1847 February 29, 2019. The website Rumen Learning 2019 homeostasis from boundaryless anatomy and physiology, retrieved on January 2nd, 2019. And the website Bruce Krause When using this image in external sources, it can be cited as Brusen.com Staff 2014, Medical Gallery or Brusen Medical 2014, Wiki Journal of Medicine, and that is their website. And finally, we have Biology 2E provided by OpenCtax, located at that website. Attribution, license terms, access for free at that website. So that comes to the end of my video. I might combine the homeostasis and excretion to be one video, depending on the length of the video. So guys, goodbye and good night. Wish you the best of luck as you watch these videos to the end. Bye bye and good night. If you are night, good morning. If you are in the morning, good afternoon if you are in the afternoon. But here in Kenya is good night.